Welcome to the False Image Fashion Podcast. I'm your host, Glenn Wiggins. I'm so excited for this to be the first episode of the False Image Fashion Podcast. I thank you guys for sharing this with friends and family members and associates to tell them, hey, you need to listen in on the False Image Fashion Podcast. All you guys that have reposted all the flyers and everything else, thank you. Even if you just sent me a text, anything, I thank you guys because I cannot do this without you guys' support. And this idea has really been resonating within my spirit about a fashion podcast for about a year now. Being able to be a graduate for about a year, I graduated a year ago from Alabama University. I graduated with a international business degree and a minor in fashion design. But before I graduated, I had about 5 years of experience within the fashion industry, working nationally and working internationally, meeting and shaking hands and working with some of the industry's emerging talent and also established talent. But enough about myself. This idea was really I really felt like the industry did not have a safe haven for people, for creatives that are involved within the fashion and beauty industry, for us to just kick back and not be so uptight all the time. I know you guys think about fashion, we think just about the glitz and the glamour of the runway. But I really wanted to give you guys the other layers that come with being involved in, seeing others that are involved within the fashion industry, that it's much more than just the runway. It's much more than just the actual finished product itself. And so I really wanted to dig deep into meeting and providing and us building with each other in general and creating a community where we can learn from each other. On this podcast, there's going to be plenty of things that I don't know, and there's going to be plenty of things that you guys know that you guys can teach me, and there's going to be some things that I come across that I can teach you as well. It's about how we can build from each other, how we can help each other's business, how we can help each other's idea get up off the ground. And I'm going to be, sitting with, and reaching and traveling and reaching out to individuals and organizations that are involved within the fashion and beauty industry daily, and really get as much information as possible from them to help you guys that are listening, to help myself be more inspired and more proactive about my career in general. This is an open dialogue. I'm creating an open dialogue, an open conversation for us to learn and speak about things that don't normally get speaked about within the fashion industry. So it's most definitely, we're building a community. And even if you're a person that feels like, hey, fashion is really not my thing, wearing makeup is not really my thing, doing my hair is not really my thing, that's fine. You are still involved. You still can be involved. There still is always a place for if you're that person. And I'm here to tell you that you could be a supporter of someone that you know or someone else that is a creative, that person is an inspiring model or a photographer. Those are the positions that people in our generation are really taking home and really want to build their career. So those people that I just spoke about that feel like they're like indirectly involved within the fashion industry, you can support. You can show support to that next person that's near to you and just send them some encouraging words, or, provide them and tell them about this False Image Fashion podcast. I am here, and False Image is here to be a problem solver within the industry. Give you the different trends and touch on the topics about the business of fashion, touch on different tips and information that you guys would really, really need in general to build that legacy. We all have my favorite legacies of Tom Ford, Ralph Lauren. Of course, everyone loves the GQs and the Vogues and everything else, the big ones. But one thing is that I've learned in studying for these last years is that I noticed that all these individuals have one thing in common, is that they are students of the game. They remain students of the game, they remain humble, and they remain to study their craft so they can take it to the next level, so they can still be relevant within centuries and centuries to come. And so that's what I want our generation, and that's what I want the current generation, the old generation. I want all of us to merge together with this False Image Fashion podcast, and let's help each other take the industry by storm. And I'm here. If you guys want to reach out to myself personally, or if you just want to shoot some comments or suggestions or an article, say, hey, Glenn, I want you to shoot this article and talk about this. I believe it's important. And we'll work together. It's about building with each other, and we're going to provide you that information. So I want you guys to, every Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central Time, every Thursday, listen to the False Image Fashion Podcast. It's going to be a hot new episode, something different, everyone. We're going to switch it up a lot of different times, reach out to our supporters and everything that are listening. And just really, we're going to have fun. I want to have fun with you guys. Fashion is fun. It's not uptight. It's not just so personal. So we're really going to have some fun. I'm excited to bring you guys this platform. So you guys can reach out to us on all social media. Our Twitter is at falseimage_. Our Instagram is false image, just strictly false image. Our Facebook is facebook.com/false image podcast. You can find us on Periscope at False Image Fashion Podcast. And also on MySpace, you can also find us on myspace.com/False Image Fashion Podcast. And every Thursday, 9 a.m., 8 a.m. Central Time, make sure you tune in on falseimage.net, www.falseimage.net. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at glenn@falseimage.net. So I want you guys to go out, be creative, be encouraged, and be creative. And let's have some fun with this first season of the False Image Fashion Podcast.